Professor Kaushik Basu, who is the Chief Economist of the World Bank currently, who believes that currently world turmoil is nowhere close to the crisis of 2008, and India can ride the storm if we are able to sustain the reform momentum.
Indian economy on the whole is doing very well. If you look at the growth table of performance among big economies all over the world, India today in our World Bank table tops the chart. This has never happened before. So overall, the economic situation is good. However, it is for a country like India, which is still a poor economy, all said and done, it's an emerging economy. It is very, very important to keep up the reform momentum and also to keep up the responsible fiscal policy. On balance, India is doing fine, but all this has to be kept up, and the global scene is turning worse, with the Brazilian growth having gone into negative, Russian growth into negative. So in this situation, particularly, the reforms and policy vigilance is important.
Right. Professor Basu, we almost a couple of weeks back, we got a major shock. We were perhaps taking global growth slowdown lightly because of what's all happening in China. How are you assessing, how serious are the risks to global growth, and where India stacks in that, and what's your assessment?
There are risks to global growth. It can slow down more, and if that happens, it is bound to affect India, because today no country is isolated. But the main sector where India has to pay a lot of attention is India's export sector, where India has not done well, despite the fact that India is the fastest growing major economy in the world, which is a huge positive. India's exports have not done well over the last 12 months or 14 months, and a lot of attention ought to go to get this back again to full steam.
You briefly spoke about 2008, my last question. Yes. And people are drawing parallels once again, that is it like 2008 like scenario right now? Is it right to draw those parallels, and how do you compare the two periods?
I don't think it's like 2008. 2008, it was a very specific factor. It was the subprime market situation in the United States which escalated. Today, there are other risks and dangers, the overall global debt, the fact that major economies like Japan and the Eurozone are not growing sufficiently fast. These things can have ramifications. But the situation is very different from 2008, and I don't think it's going to be a shock this time as much as it could be a gradual slowing down, unlike in 2008 when it was a shock.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/etnow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at etnowlive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/etnow.